Hi YouTube, and welcome back to my random thoughts on Thursdays. Happy Valentine's Day! Alright, so as you all probably know, tomorrow is Valentine's Day, and one of the things I've noticed that has been a trend, but it's gotten really bad this year, is people really hating on Valentine's Day. Although there's still a lot of demand for it. I mean, the grocers still sell tons of roses and red flowers and things, and they're still putting out lots of boxes of chocolate and all of the other things that go along with Valentine's Day. So obviously somebody's still celebrating the holiday. And while I don't really care about it one way or the other that much. I mean, okay, yes, I'm married, so, and to be perfectly honest, when I was single, it was just another day. It didn't bother me that I didn't have someone to spend it with or whatever. I mean, it was, when I was dating and, I was able to have a Valentine's with a boyfriend, then, yay. And when I didn't, then, well, I treated myself. I would cook myself a nice dinner, have a glass of wine, maybe buy myself some flowers. I mean, so what? I love myself, and I showed it to myself. It's a fun little holiday. I don't know. I always kind of, like I said, I don't care about it that much, but I don't hate it, and I don't mind having a reason to, cook myself a special meal. And with that in mind, this year, normally my husband and I will go out for Valentine's Day for dinner, but we've been kind of in flux with a lot of things, things that I really can't get into details right now. My husband doesn't want to share some of the stuff with the world. I mean, it's nothing bad. It's just that, there's going to be a lot of transitions going on in our lives. We're not getting divorced, so, that's not it. But there's some transitions going on, things that are happening. And so we just never got around to making reservations this year. And where we live, we are in the heart of going out to eat culture. One thing we've noticed, it doesn't matter what day of the week it is, every place we go to, the restaurants are always crowded, except for the low-end ones. The low-end ones almost always have room. The high-end ones are almost always crowded. We do have a higher than average standard of living. I was going to say cost of living, but the cost of living is actually kind of middle of the road. If you think of like New York City being like the pinnacle, or Boston, and parts of California, those are like the pinnacle of the cost of living. And then there's places like Oklahoma and Kentucky and places like that are in the lower end of cost of living. Not to say that there aren't nice places in Oklahoma, but you can buy a house there $50,000, whereas New York City, you're lucky, especially in Manhattan, to get a condo for $1 million. I mean, really. So, those are the two ends of the spectrum. And where we live, the average cost of a starter home is about $250,000, $275,000 for something like a 1,500 to 2,000 square foot 3-bedroom house. So we're kind of in the middle. We're not like way up there in the crazy zone, and we're not way down there in the really affordable zone either. But for some reason we have a fairly high standard of living, probably because, we're a university town, but we also have a lot of tech companies here. We have Agilent and HP and Intel, Woodward Governor's another one, which is not as famous, I think, because I think they do military tech. IBM is near Boulder, so they're kind of close-ish. They're about an hour's drive from here, 45 minutes. But there's a lot of tech in the area, and so there's a lot of highly educated people who make a decent income. And so a lot of folks here go out to dinner a lot. I would say from all the people that I personally know, the people I know go out to dinner anywhere from 3 to 5 times a week or more. Some people just go out all the time and just don't bother cooking at home at all. Depends on your cooking skills, I suppose, and how passionate you are to cook. And so my husband and I kind of go out to eat quite a lot as well. I do like to cook, but with my business and everything else, I don't always find the time. But my point being that tomorrow is Friday night. Friday night is like the worst night to go out to dinner here, because every place is crowded. Like, you have a minimum half-hour wait anywhere you go. And tomorrow's Valentine's Day, so that's going to be even worse because everyone's going to want to go out. Maybe not everyone, but a significant majority of people. Like, let's say on an average Friday, 75% of people are out dining. Tomorrow's going to be 90%. That might be an exaggeration, but it feels like there's a lot of people who go out to dinner here a lot, and Friday nights especially. And so I decided, you know, screw it. I'm just going to cook a nice dinner at home. The weather's actually been pretty decent, so at first I was thinking of doing, have my husband help grill some fillets. But we kind of had to do a doohickey arrangement with our sliding door to the backyard to keep the cold out, because we have a dog door section in the sliding door. And so going in and out of the sliding door right now without undoing all that is not easy. And we don't know if the cold weather's over with yet or not. I mean, it's in the 50s and 60s now, but it was really cold last week. It's one of the reasons why our cars broke down last week. And so we don't want to undo that. So no grilling of fillets tomorrow. Instead, I have a recipe for pork loin that I do in a crock pot that I really like. Now, the last two times I've made it, it's been a bit on the too sweet side. It's one where you put apples and ginger and brown sugar with the pork loin, and you cook it for like 5 hours. And it's like just fall off the fork tender, just absolutely delicious. But I'll admit it was a little bit too sweet. The original recipe calls for, I don't know if it's a full cup of, or I think it was like 2 cups of brown sugar. It's like way too much. So the first time I made it, I halved that to only 1 cup. But it was still too sweet. So the next time I made it, I only used half a cup, and that was still too sweet. So I'm actually going to cut out the brown sugar entirely from this recipe now. And I'm going to use a drier wine and green apples, and I'm going to do that and like Granny Smith apples instead, so that I again end up with more of a tart ginger infusion for the pork instead of the really sweet. So hopefully that'll work out really well. And then the other thing I'm making is my husband's favorite au gratin potatoes. I made those for Thanksgiving last year, and he couldn't get enough of them, so I'm gonna make those again. I make them. He loves Tillamook mild cheddar or medium cheddar, and so I made them last year with very thinly sliced potatoes, and the medium cheddar, and half, and just, you know, salt and pepper, and it just comes out really delicious. But lost my train of thought. So anyway, that's my husband's one of the favorite things that I make. So and I don't make it very often because it's a bit of work to peel the potatoes, to thinly slice the potatoes, everything else. So, but anyway, so that's what we're having for dinner tomorrow night, along with, you know, a couple of glasses of nice wine. And I bought my husband some flowers. His favorite flowers are tulips, so I got red tulips. And yeah, we're just gonna stay in and avoid the chaos and have a lovely Valentine's. So, I would love to hear in the comments below, do you celebrate Valentine's Day, single or not? I mean, I used to do a little thing for Valentine's Day when I was single, so do you do anything? Do you just mope around the house? Are you in a relationship? Are you doing anything special with your sweetheart? I'd love to know what, you know, do you do anything for Valentine's Day, first of all? And if you do, what are your plans? You don't have to go into any intimate details, but just leave some comments below. I'd appreciate hearing from you. And as promised, I am going to give an update about my fitness activity. And so this week, actually last week, I did do 3 times last week at 45 minutes on the elliptical. I couldn't get more in than that just because of all the car problems and running around dealing with that, and that was just like pain in butt. And then this week I have already done 3 times this week, but I am going to try and go again tomorrow on Friday and again on Saturday. So hopefully my plan is to get 5 days in this week, so that'll be great. And then on top of everything else, as of this morning, I'm down 5 pounds since January 1st. So all of the hard work's been paying off so far. I mean, yeah, 5 pounds isn't a lot, but it's a start and it's going in the right direction. So thank you for joining me again this week. I appreciate everyone who watches my videos. If you like them, please give them a thumbs up. Please share with anyone you think would be interested in watching. And please subscribe if you haven't yet. I do appreciate every one of my subscribers. Until next week, take care. Bye-bye.